I'm going to have Shabbos. You know, so many times we speak about the idea of Torah being Torah's Chaim. That means you come to every parsha and it's supposed to be screaming lessons and messages to you. You come to parshas naso and you can look at parshas naso and say, maybe I should join the Kiddush Club. Of course, there's no Kiddush Club. But if there was a Kiddush Club, you start thinking, why parshas naso? Naso is Bnei Gershon, it goes through the Gevaldik Gershon and what they're carrying, and what the Kehas is carrying, and what Merori is carrying, and then it goes to the entire Korbanos of the Nisim, 176 psukim. It's the longest. Unless you're Baal Koren and you're getting paid by the pasuk, which I used to get, then it's there's nothing to worry about. I used to have a whole fight. I used to live with Rabbi Willick's son. So we used to fight over parshas naso, because the guy that was paying based on psukim. It shouldn't work that way, because you're really paying based on your preparation. And the preparation for the psukim is really the same preparation, so you shouldn't get paid, but we still got paid. But in any case, it's interesting, of course, that 176 psukim also exists by Tehillim Kuf Yutes, and there's 176 daf in Maseches Baba Basra. What's the connection? So I'll tell you. You open up Nesiva Shalom, you open up the Chassidus Svarim, it screams lessons. Such an amazing lesson. You open up this week's parsha, you start with Bnei Gershon, Kehas Merori, and you say to yourself, wait a minute, why these names? Kehas, Gershon, Merori. So in Nesiva Shalom he says the following. He says, Kehas, as we know, was carrying the Oren HaKodesh. Kehas was the family that was close to the Rebbeinu Shalom all the time. Gershon is from Lashon Gershonim Mistapech Menachel Hashem. They set me away. That means that the family, and what are they carrying? The curtains, not so bad. And then you have Merori, which is bitterness. What are they carrying? They're carrying the beams, the amudim, the adonim, the sockets. Imagine a Merori guy. Merori guy for 40 years in the middle finally says to himself, I'm bored. I carry the beams. They're carrying the Oren HaKodesh. You know, the Kodesh was one of the guys that carried the Oren HaKodesh. In fact, the Gevaldik Hashayla, which I won't tell you the answer, you'll have to think about, is that it's brought down that the Gilgul that came from the Mitzri that Moshe Rabbeinu killed was Korach. And the kasha is that we know that the Levi, after 50 years old, can't carry anymore. And yet, Moshe Rabbeinu was 20 years old when he killed the Mitzri. That means when he left, he was 80 years old, which means that Korach was 60 years old. And it says that Korach was one of the carriers of the Oren HaKodesh. How is that possible? But I'll let you think about it. But the ikka that we could take from this week's parasha, Zok, the Nesiva Shalom, is that it's not talking about separate people. Every one of us sometimes is at the stage of Kehos, which means we're close to the Rebbeinu Shalom, and we feel so close, we're carrying the Oren HaKodesh. Kehos, by the way, I have a pshat why it's actually a positive lashon. Gershuni means that a person's taka feels distant. And Merori, which unfortunately today is probably most of the world, is in a stage of merirus, of bitterness, of depression, of sadness. The Yesoid is lavoid ulemasa. To lavoid zot chazal is tefillah shebalev. The greatest avoid is to speak to Hashem. No matter where we are, to turn to Hashem, that's what the Rebbeinu Shalom wants the most, and that's the greatest nachasuach. A lot of times people say, I'll wait till things work out. I'm in the stage of Kehaz, then I'll speak to the Rebbeinu Shalom. I had two ladies this week. One lady, both were brokenhearted, unfortunately. Each one found the terrible news, and they were struggling. One lady, the husband told me, was in the car, and she was mamish brokenhearted, and she finally said to herself, she turned to the Rebbeinu Shalom, and said, Rebbeinu Shalom, just give me clarity in this darkness. And then, after 6 years of bitterness, she told her husband, I have such clarity, I'm in the mamish, she's a different person. And it's all because she chapped. The Rebbeinu Shalom wanted her to call out, and to turn and to connect her from that place. We should be zeicher that this parasha should be meir and we should connect the Rebbeinu Shalom and have a gewaldige Shabbos.